In this video, you will see wooden sculptures that are digitized, digitally enhanced in VR, with the use of Gaussian splatting, put into VR again, and augmented reality. Stick around.
Hello there, I'm Marinda Botha. I'm an actress and voiceover artist based in South Africa. I'm also a performer working in virtual reality, and what some people don't know is that I'm a puppeteer as well. So I carve wooden marionettes and most recently smaller wooden sculptures. Now for the past 2 years or so, I've been thinking about how can I combine this very old school craft of wood carving with digital technologies. So I've been experimenting, and this is what this video is about.
So these are wooden sculptures that took me several weeks to make. It's gelaton wood, carved by hand, no power tools used. And it's just a pastime of mine that I really enjoy doing from time to time. And then I thought, what could happen if I digitize these little fellas? And on top of that, what could I do with those digital creatures? So the first thing I did is I used the app Scaniverse to then scan in all of these little creatures. Super easy app to use and really high quality 3D models I obtained. I then used Blender to take those 3D models to clean them up and also to modify them a little bit so that they are a little lower in poly counts so that I can actually use them. Then I took those models into Gravity Sketch using my Quest 2, and I really absolutely adore Gravity Sketch because it's the closest so far that I've gotten to sculpting in VR. So these are the basic shapes that I put into Gravity Sketch, some reference material, and then I just started sculpting. I mean, these creatures are inspired by African animals, and I just started playing around, and you can change the color so easily in Gravity Sketch. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's a hugely powerful software that I'm just dipping my feet in. So you can really modify your model as much as you want. Change colors, make shapes. The sky is the limit really of what you can do. Now my sketches are quite chaotic. That is how I like to work. And after sculpting in VR, I got to these little creatures, before and after. A whale with 2 tails, which I quite like. The king of the jungle, that's a bit of a horse. The silly little mouse thingy. And a cat with a zebra tail. I then went into the VR platform that I know best, which is Resonite, and I placed these characters into Resonite with the intention of making avatars. So this is me in Resonite just talking about them. You can see they are life-sized, but it was actually quite difficult, I found out, to make avatars of quadrupeds, so I still need to do that. Just as an aside, I do have some avatars in VR chat that are usable, that you can wear and embody a puppet, but that is a story for another day. Now back in Resonite, I decided, right, I will just create the environment for these creatures. Now how could I do it if I am not a VR developer? So again, I turned to Scaniverse and I created some splats of trees near my home, and I also used Luma AI, the 3D capture app, and I made some more splats of different trees in a different location with the idea that I want to make a forest. So I used Play Canvas that is super easy to use just to clean up these huge Gaussian splat models in a very fast and easy to understand way. That really worked for me. I love to play canvas. So finally they are in Blender again, and I created this forest, which gave me a lot of joy to create this little forest of trees that's combined out of Gaussian splats from different trees. And then I placed my characters, my 3D characters, in this space. And then the intention was always, before I forget, I created the skybox using Skybox AI just to have some kind of environment. And here I am back in Resonite again. Now Resonite doesn't yet support Gaussian splats fully. I know they are discussing the option to do, but what they do support is point clouds. So I decided to take my forest that I have created, put it into VR, and bring my creatures into it as well. So that's what I did. Just to give you a sense of the immersion that one could create with Gaussian splats and 3D characters, and then to be able to actually walk within that space and experience it as if it is real life or in life-size scale. I thought the potential for this is just amazing. It is a joy to walk around in a space like this, and I look forward to doing many more experiments of combining 3D creations with Gaussian splats in VR and then living that creation, being immersed in it. I quite love that. So yeah, that's me in Resonite. That's all I did for the VR component. But there's one more thing that I decided I'm going to try, and that is using Adobe's Area. It's in beta, and specifically the location anchor aspect of it, where you can put in any location you prefer with Google Maps, and then put a pin at an exact location, create some kind of AR experience. I'm not great with this yet. I was going to do Merry Christmas, but I ran out of time, so it's just Merry. And you then actually walk to that location, and then you can see your creation, and of course it can be animated as well. So I wanted to remind you of where all of this comes from. What is the basis that I worked from? Are these little creatures? And I'm really, really excited about where things can go from here.
All right, that is it. Nothing is finished, nothing is perfect. I'm experimenting. I'm really interested in Gaussian splatting, in obviously VR immersion, taking the organic into the digital, XR technologies, and probably AI in the new year, seeing how I can combine all of that. So if you're still here, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic festive season, and I will see you in 2025.